Well, it's one of the most important days of our lives and also the most expensive. But despite the cost of living crisis, the wedding industry is still booming. Couples are spending on average a whopping $35,000 on their big day.
But knowing how to have an affordable, stylish ceremony, it can be a challenge, from demure designs to unusual venues and even the new unwritten engagement rules. What are the top wedding trends coming up for 2025?
Professional bridesmaid and wedding planner Kerstyn Walsh is here to tell us. Welcome back, lovely to see you.
Thank you.
The wedding world, ever evolving. Let's start with proposals and engagements. What's new in the proposal space?
In proposals, we're seeing them to be a lot more low-key. So yes, there's always be a time for the extravagant proposal going all out, but we're seeing people propose in their lounge rooms after breakfast and really making that really something special. And then in terms of engagements, they're a lot longer. People have realised weddings are expensive, funny that, and the longer engagement they have, the more time they have to save.
OK, hey, there's a bit of a trend focusing on wedding non-negotiables. What are people deciding to ditch on the big day?
I think non-negotiables is so important, having a list of what you want versus what you need. People are ditching things like wedding cake. We personally didn't have a wedding cake at our wedding. People are ditching things like the bouquet toss and even some speeches to minimise the amount of time of formalities at a reception.
Oh, that's good. What about when it comes to ceremony styles? What's sort of coming up and what's some emerging trends that we're seeing?
We're seeing lots of black tie. Weather dependent, it's hard to do a black tie wedding if it's really hot, so we're seeing lots of black tie. In terms of colours, we're seeing deep burgundies and a lot of green, but all shades of green, not necessarily just the eucalyptus that we've seen for a long time.
OK. Now, wedding venues also notoriously tricky to lock in. What are some of the new location hotspots people are zooming in on?
Yeah, people are thinking outside the box. They're thinking things like libraries and museums and boats and backyards, and really just trying to find something that hasn't necessarily been done before. Just something that really suits them and their wedding, and there's a great way to save money there while you're doing it.
Libraries?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool tip.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Lots of people complaining about the destination weddings and how much it's costing everybody.
Yes.
So everybody's saying, like, it's now costing wedding guests a lot of money to attend a wedding.
It is, particularly if you're having to buy a new outfit as well, and then you want to give a gift. I know some people say no gifts because we know that you're travelling.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a personal choice, but yeah, it can be quite expensive for it. I had a destination wedding. I'm trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah. Right, now, finally, despite wedding spending increasing, couples are still trying to cut costs where they can. What are some of the top money-saving tips you've got for us?
The biggest one is to come up with a budget and then actually track everything that you're spending. So knowing what you're spending versus what you actually wanted to spend in the first place. The second thing is knowing what your priorities are and saying no to anything that isn't a priority to you.
It's so easy to say yes, right?
It's so easy to say yes. If we all had an unlimited bank account, we would. The next thing is to get creative with venues. Like we said, maybe your local restaurant, your favourite restaurant would happily have you for a wedding, and that could be a great way to save. Thinking of a wedding outside of wedding season. It's wedding season at the moment, so perhaps you choose a winter wedding or a midweek wedding to save a bit of money. And finally, the biggest tip is to choose suppliers that are local to where your venue is. That saves on travel fees and accommodation costs as well.
I'll tell you another great cost-saving tip. Don't tell them it's a wedding.
Oh, I don't know about that. They'll work it out eventually.
It just doubles, doesn't it? Like, everything doubles or triples when you say the word wedding.
When suddenly a girl arrives in a big white dress, like
Bit of a giveaway. Yeah.
Wear a trench coat till they've gone and then take the dress. Great tips.
The last tip, elope.
I like that.
Elope. That could save a lot of money.
That would.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey, good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're back after this.